Hey guys, I'm Will.
And I'm Jen. So it's been a while. It's been a little over a year since our last video. And I know we kind of left you guys hanging. The last time you saw us, we were in Jacksonville, Florida. And we were going to be starting our full-time RV adventure soon. So we wanted to make this video to kind of update you guys on what's been going on with our life in the last year. And kind of what our plans are now and what things have changed. A lot has changed. And just kind of like we are really interested in getting this channel going. I think it's going to be a little different than what we initially planned. So we just wanted to kind of do an update video before we start jumping back into YouTube. So I guess we'll kind of start with just an update on where we were the last time you guys saw us.
Alright guys, so like Jen said, last time, or in our last video that we uploaded, we were in like the Jacksonville and Savannah area, Savannah, Georgia area. We were there with Matt, just had gotten done moving him down to Florida, and we were just kind of starting our way back home. He was riding with us for a couple reasons. He had to go back home, and we actually ended up buying a new vehicle down in Florida, so we needed an additional driver, or appreciated the additional driver to get us back up. So before, the whole point of the videos or the channel was to kind of have you guys follow along with us in our journey going full-time RVing. So, and like Jen just said, you know, a lot has changed over the last year and a half. So do you want to kind of update where we are on that?
Yeah, so basically in a nutshell, we've kind of decided that we don't want a full-time RV. And that decision came from kind of a few different reasons.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things was just some of the career goals that we had were just not going to be possible when living full-time on the road. So specifically, Will is a real estate agent. He kind of does a lot of things, you know. If you watch Matt's RV reviews, you probably see him on the Towable channel. But he's also a full-time real estate agent, and as you can imagine, that would really have not been possible if we were on the road, moving from place to place.
Right.
You know, obviously just for the fact that you have to take people to houses, and he's only licensed in the state of Maryland, so he couldn't practice all over the country. And so that was a big thing, and that was something that he really wanted to pursue. So that was one of the big reasons. And then I think another reason was just other things that we wanted to do as a couple, and we'll definitely be getting into some of that on this channel now, but just you know, we're interested in real estate investing, flipping properties, getting rental properties, and
I think also just financially, full-timing RVing isn't always the easiest, especially when my career choice is something that does need a little bit more stability. You know, so I was going to be forced to kind of do something that I didn't necessarily want to do or have a lot of experience in, but I was going to have to do that to make money. And since I didn't have a lot of experience in it or anything, the income of those types of jobs were definitely going to be a lot lower. So just looking at everything from a budget standpoint was going to be difficult, on top of a few other things.
Yeah, and then I think we just kind of also made some personal decisions about how we saw our life, and we're very close to our family, so both of our families live 15-20 minutes from us, and we see them a lot, and we're really close with them. And so I think that was something that we kind of realized is as much as we want to travel, and we still plan to travel, being away from them for just continuous months on end was just something I don't think we would have been happy with, because they're such a part of our lives that I just think that we wouldn't have been enjoyed the travel as much, because we would have been sad about missing everybody.
What brings us a lot of happiness is being with our family, in addition to traveling and everything. But when we just think about life overall, that does bring us a lot of happiness. So it'd be sad for us to be gone for a year or longer without them. So.
And we have 3 dogs. If you haven't seen before, we've shown Tucker on the channel, but we have 2 other dogs. And so that was just going to be a lot, traveling with 3 dogs on the road. And so kind of just bringing that kind of story to the end, that was a lot of the reasoning behind deciding that we don't want a full-time RV. However, we do plan on, travel is still a big part of our lives, and we're just kind of doing it in a different way. And so I think Will's going to get into a little bit on how we're approaching travel now, and how we see our travel in the future, kind of like what we're working towards in that aspect.
So yeah, like Jen said, traveling is definitely going to be a huge part of our lives and of this channel. So basically, and all this is still kind of in the works. We're trying to figure all this out ourselves as well, but I know a lot of you follow us on Matt's RV Reviews, Matt's RV Reviews Towables, or follow Matt there. So you probably know that I recently took a job with General RV, working with Matt and recording. So we're hitting all the units that we can. We're filming basically 365 videos a year, one video a day, and General has 13 locations. So we are going to be hitting all the different stores. So we're going to get to go out to Utah, we're going to go to Michigan, Illinois, Florida, Virginia, getting ready to open up a store in Pennsylvania. So there's going to be a lot of traveling around there. Jen is planning on coming with me as much as she can, and then we will hit, obviously if I'm there working, call it a week, we'll extend another week on our own and, check out the Salt Lake City area or, the Michigan area, wherever we are. So we've got that. And like I said, we're just going to be doing more traveling in addition to that. So kind of kicking it off, really. The whole idea of the going full-time RVing for the year was that was kind of going to be our honeymoon. So we, obviously, since that didn't work out, we didn't really get a honeymoon. So we're getting ready to go to Aruba the end of March. So we're super excited about that. We'll drive down to Florida. Again, I got a little bit of recording to do down there, maybe a show. And so we'll drive down to Florida and then fly from Florida to Aruba. So that'll be a good video down in Florida. We're going to hit Key West that trip, either Tampa or Ocala, depending on where Matt is with his new house at the time. And but yeah, other than that, we just got a lot of fun trips planned. Both big and small for the whole year.
Yeah, and I think also it's like in the last year since you guys have seen us on this channel, like we have worked in a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
And I think that every trip we kind of learn more about like what style of traveling we prefer, and it's kind of like the perfect combination of still kind of getting like home life and some of those things we already touched on, but also like travel that's not super stressful and tiring.
Right.
And so like some of the things we've learned is that we like going on, if we're going to a place, like being able to stay for a few weeks, especially because a lot of the times I'm not taking off like a week when we go somewhere. I'm working during the week. So being able to go somewhere for 3 or 4 weeks even just gives us the ability to like still have the time on the weekends, evenings, maybe I take off a day here or there, but it gives us the time to really explore the area without having to like pack in so much that you're exhausted at the end.
Yep.
And then also with staying a few weeks, a lot of times we will try to get an Airbnb instead of a hotel room.
Yeah.
Which just being able to have some of the luxuries of home, a kitchen, a little living room area, just makes life makes it feel like more normal life while still getting to travel.
Right.
So we've found that we really like to travel that way. Which kind of brings us back to the RV.
Yeah.
So I guess I can touch on that. So as we talked about the last time you guys saw us, we have a fifth wheel. We have a mid-profile Keystone Cougar fifth wheel. We bought it new in 2018 or 19?
Beginning of 19.
Okay, 2019, and we decided to renovate it. Which, looking back, we probably wouldn't have renovated a brand new one. But that's what we decided to do. We wanted to update it. It had a lot of like the dark wood interior that is pretty common with RV manufacturers. So we wanted to update that and brighten it up. But keep in mind, when we decided to do that, it was because we were going to be living in it full time as our home.
Right.
And so there was a lot of things that we didn't want to deal with it being our home full time. But now since we've decided that we don't want a full-time RV, we've definitely, regretting that decision a little bit. And so now we're kind of at a point where honestly, we're trying to decide if we want to keep the fifth wheel or not. Solely because we're trying to really evaluate the type of travel that we like to do and whether having the fifth wheel makes sense for that.
Right.
Like I was saying before, like we like to go and stay somewhere for several weeks. So we're almost starting to lean towards wanting, if we were to kind of look at a different RV of something more of like a B plus, small C, something that would make more of like the driving to somewhere a lot more comfortable. Like maybe we're staying at campgrounds like on the way out to a destination, but then not necessarily like staying in the RV when we get there. And we're still kind of figuring that out. But we have been talking about the possibility of selling the fifth wheel and maybe not even right away getting another RV. I think we want to like make sure that if we do get another RV again, that it's something that's really going to align with how we like to travel.
Definitely, yeah.
But you know, I definitely could see the value in having like a small drivable one, like especially for we're hoping to take trips out west, like Salt Lake City. There's a dealership, and so like being able to, you know, enjoy that drive out there more and not be staying in a hotel every night on the trip, but you know, having, and also just like the drive itself,
ease of driving. You know, it's kind of one of those things. It's not the easiest to drive, but it's definitely a lot easier than towing a fifth wheel. But it's also a lot more comfortable to drive. And what I really mean by that is like, you know, with all the dogs, you know, Jen's having to work, you know, a lot of times I'll have the flip out table, the passenger seat, or the dinette with seat belts or something like that. So, you know, again, that's kind of why like a smaller B plus, you know, it's not so big that it's hard to drive, but at the same time, big enough that we're all comfortable. So.
Yeah, we've been eyeing them a little bit, and some of the we're a big fan of the Integra Quest, and I like some of the interiors because they're already lighter. So I think we've kind of agreed, like we don't see doing an RV renovation again. It was definitely like bit off a little bit more than we could chew there. So I think we're hoping that if we do get another one, that it'll be something where we're pretty happy with the interior and it's kind of just ready to start using it. So like I said, like definitely like not hating on fifth wheels. I still love fifth wheels for full-time travel, but I think right now it's like, you know, because we live in a townhome and like so we can't store a fifth wheel here, so it's sitting at my parents' house, just very big, very bulky. And so that's kind of where we are with the RV. Not totally decided, but that's kind of what our heads have been thinking about. So
okay, so something else the channel is really going to be focusing on is kind of like minimalism. And what we mean by that is we're not like moving into a tiny house or anything like that, but just simplifying our lives to give us the ability to travel more, to feel more comfortable in our house, to not feel overwhelmed by stuff. So, you know, again, like Jen said, we live in a townhouse. We do want to get into a single family home eventually, hopefully sooner rather than later. Just having a little bit more space around us, you know, but you know, we're really big on this and trying to focus more on not, you know, just buying stuff, you know, and not just having, you know, so much stuff just kind of hanging around and cluttering up the house, and more to take care of and more to worry about. So just really simplifying our lives, keeping it minimal, and you know, just not overdoing it. So the main focus of the channel is going to be traveling, but you know, we are also going to focus on that, and you'll see that a lot as well. And then something else, and I think these two kind of go hand in hand, is financial freedom. So we're definitely big on financial freedom. So we are working on becoming completely debt-free ourselves. You know, obviously that's a big goal, especially when you get into trying to pay off your mortgage, which we aren't there yet, but we are working towards that. And like I said, it goes hand in hand with minimalism. The less stuff that you buy, the more money you have for yourself to, you know, pay off debt or pay off whatever, just save for the next big purchase so that you don't have to go into debt for that. So again, we're going to be really talking a lot about that and how we're getting there, steps we're taking to become financially free, and you know, just touching on that a lot and how that's going to impact our lives and some of the other aspects of the channel.
Yeah, and ultimately what we're hoping we can do for everyone watching this channel is kind of help you, and it's a journey for us as well. Like we're still learning, we're going through this process, but we want to help people figure out how do I structure my life around travel? How can I be intentional about decisions I'm making? You know, whether that's like the stuff that I'm bringing into my house, you know, how big and cluttered am I living? Like Will touched on minimalism, and then also just like what are some things I can be doing, like you know, buying rental properties. That's something that we're like really hoping to
Yeah.
really start getting more into this year. How do we start incorporating those decisions into our life that will make it easier and more enjoyable
Right.
for us to travel? And so luckily I already have a remote job, but it's like eventually we would love for rental properties to really kind of provide all the income we need
Yep.
in life so that we can travel, and we'll always still be doing something,
Oh, yeah.
some sort of business, but just having like that freedom and weight off that like
Exactly.
that the rental properties pay your bills, and so now everything else you do is more just about building wealth, long-term wealth and everything. So
And
that's
happiness.
yeah.
Giving you the money to travel, giving you the money to help your family out, or whatever it is that you like to do. Giving you that ability. So
Yeah, and that's what we're working towards right now. That's kind of like our direction for this year and beyond. And so if that's kind of like what you have been working towards as well, we hope that this channel supports you and kind of guides you through and structuring your life so around travel and kind of building everything so that for a very intentional life where you're really prioritizing the things that make you happy. So we hope that this channel will provide that for you guys. And we're planning on making a video every single week. It'll be Sunday at 8 p.m. is when we'll be releasing videos. So definitely stay tuned. We are going to be regular now. We're really interested in building this YouTube channel, and we think that these topics are super important and they're a big focus of our life, and we want to help people who kind of have the same dreams and everything. So
and just to kind of update you guys where we are at the moment, so like we kind of touched on it in the video a little bit, but like Jen said, I am a real estate agent, but I kind of wear multiple hats. So I'm a real estate agent here in Maryland. My mom and I also own a staging business that kind of works hand in hand with the real estate. And then my dad and I own a house flipping business. So we, obviously flip houses as much as we can as well. And then in addition to that, totally outside of the real estate realm is helping Matt with Matt's RV reviews in the Towables channel. And I record for him. So the way that works is we'll meet up. Basically we record 7 videos a day. So we have to work 52 days a year of actual recording days. And that's in addition to shows and, any other events going on or any other meetings we have. And then other than that, I'll help him answer emails and all that. So that really gives us the flexibility to work, the 52 days a year, and then the rest of the time have it be more flexible. And so if you don't follow Matt, make sure to follow him, Matt's RV Reviews and Matt's RV Reviews Towables. So we review RVs, basically everything. Him and his wife Andrea record the motorhomes, and him and I record the towables. And so yeah, definitely check out his videos, and that's kind of where I'm at from a work aspect.
Literally, like after a couple months after our most recent video, I started working full-time for a remote first company, and I'm a designer there. So it's really cool. Like the company has been remote since the start of it. It didn't kind of become that way because of the pandemic. So
Right.
So it's really nice. Like everything with the company is really structured around working remotely.
Yep.
So I really enjoy working there. It really pairs well with our life and what we like to do. A lot of times when we're traveling, luckily I'm very lucky to get unlimited PTO, so
Yes.
I can kind of just like take days off here and there.
It's
but
within reason.
yeah, and like I think last year I took like 3 to 4 weeks off, which is like generous but not like ridiculous for unlimited. But the biggest thing is just like not even having to take days off, but just being able to like travel and work from everywhere.
It's awesome.
So like when we went down to Florida for most of the month of January, or the whole month of January actually, we were working. Will was recording with Matt and everything, and I got to work the whole time. I took a few days off here and there when we really like had something specific we wanted to do. But in general, I got to like maintain my normal work schedule, my normal job. And we got to explore Florida and do different things. So so that's what I'm doing now, and we'll be doing probably for the foreseeable future. So I really enjoy it. Obviously, we're working on some of these other business things, but
that's all I was going to touch on was, moving forward, obviously we want to get some more of this stuff like the rentals, and we want to do some flipping on our own as well. So the goal is to kind of, bring together what we're doing to an extent as well. So, we definitely want to get to where we're able to work together more and be more with each other. So.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, so Will and I started dating in high school, and we were in the business club together. So our relationship kind of started working on projects together, and I think that's kind of a happy place for our relationship.
Definitely,
so we're hoping this year to possibly flip 1 or 2 properties, and so that'll be something that we do together. And I'm really excited to get to I'm a graphic designer, but I'm also very interested in interior design, and so I'm hoping that this year I get to kind of do the design of a couple properties. And Will's really good at really managing like the flip and the work that's happening. So I think that it'll be a good pairing for just getting into flipping houses in the future and everything. So we're excited to start that this year.
So I think that pretty much wraps up where we are. And again, we're really going to get back on focus with this channel, doing our weekly videos. Even if we don't have a lot of content, in the beginning it's going to be a little bit harder. But, once we start going down to Florida again, once we have our trip to Aruba, we'll definitely do a video on all of that. And then hopefully it's just more consistent from there. Going into summer months as COVID hopefully slows down and, things warm up, obviously we'll have a lot more content then as well, I think.
Yeah, and I think for the most part on a regular basis, we plan on putting out some more like kind of educational content on just like tips we've learned for like traveling on a budget, different minimalism tips that we have, and what we're doing to get to financial freedom. What are some ideas for that?
Yeah, it's not always going to be vlog style.
Yeah, so I think it'll be
learning.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of educational content, and then when we do go somewhere, we'll definitely be doing videos just to kind of give you guys a vlog here and there when we're traveling.
Yeah,
obviously, like that's the main goal here is to be able to travel. So. Alrighty guys, well thank you so much for just your patience as we've been gone off YouTube for a bit now, but we're excited to come back and start making videos for you guys. So if you're coming across this video and you aren't already subscribed, please feel free to hit that button down below so that you see all of our upcoming weekly videos, and like this video if you can. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you next week.
Yep, see you guys.
Bye.
Bye.